Battle 2 in Month 2 of Rumble in the Chaos Wastes. This is a battle between the Warriors of Chaos and one of the Lizardmen. It'll be Kurt that I'm playing. And there were 3 battles that were resolved today, and we're going to quickly look at a map to see where they are. So I'm in the upper left with the Warriors of Chaos kind of spreading over to the right. The battles are denoted by the crossed swords, and there are 3 of them. One with banners 7 and 5 at C3, one that is at A5 with banners 8, my 8 against Kurt's 3 and 7, and then one that's at B6, which is my banners 2 and 5 against his banner 1. So here are the battles with a nice little chaos sign on top. So the 2 more on the bottom were resolved first and pretty quick, so I'll get into a summary of them, and then we'll actually get into a report on the one on top. So these battles were pretty one-sided. They were just scouting forces for the Lizardmen against full banners of my own, and so they were definitely going to be victories for me, the Warriors, but we were just trying to see if Kurt could get any points out of it from tokens, and he was able to get 3 tokens in total. So we both got 5 fame points for those 2 conflicts. Alright, so for our battle, I had the lore of Tzeentch, and I rolled up the following spells, basically thinking that he likes skinks, and so there'd be a lot of toughness 2. I'd be putting a lot of warp flame on him, and he'd probably fail a fair number of toughness tests, and maybe I could kill some skink units that way. Didn't turn out to happen. In fact, my magic played almost no role in this game. We're allowed to pick our lore before the battles, which I didn't know going into this game, but Kurt decided to go with high magic. He actually didn't take Arcane Unforging, instead put that down to Soul Quench, and Arcane Unforging would have been huge against my armies, but he thought that you had to wound first to be able to destroy a magic item instead of just destroy it right away. But now that he knows that, he'll probably use it on me in the future. In this situation, the spells that he had won't play much, but he will drop them to pick up other spells that will then hopefully be usable. So this is the setup. So he had 2 banners. So it was my 1 army against two armies of his, but the first one was just a small unit of skink cohorts. So they sat down in a river where they would be nice and stubborn, and I put out my guys. I have my level 4 on a disc on the far left, a unit of skull crushers with a champ, my BSB on a demonic mount, and then another unit of 3 skull crushers with a champ. Both skull crushers have a standard bearer as well. So I basically just move up on the first turn, and I attempt to cast some spells with my level 4. His skinks take a couple damage, a couple of wounds, and then they actually make their toughness 2 test and get 6+ regen. After his turn 1, he just moved back a little bit, and then I moved up again to cast some more spells. But I ended up not succeeding to cast, and nothing ended up happening. Alright, so now Kurt's second army was able to make it on the board. From the far left, he has 2 units of skink skirmishers with javelins, then his skink cohorts, then a huge block of 30 Temple Guard in horde formation with the Slann. So that 1 unit is worth about 900 and some points. It ends up having the banner of armor piercing, and the Slann is fully kitted out. And then another unit of skink skirmishers on the right. So after he came on, I flew my caster up to be right next to his Temple Guard, thinking that it would give me a round to do a little bit of magic if need be, but probably just try to kill those skirmishers. But I'm going to charge in his flank or his rear, depending on where he moves those Temple Guard, to lock them down so I can get a combo charge with everything else. I do try to cast a little bit. I kill some of those skink skirmishers, but not very many. Having kept all my stuff out of maximum charge arc, he didn't want to give me an easy charge, so he kept his Temple Guard where they were and tried to flank around the sides with his Skink Skirmishers. The unit on the far right, he cast a Regrowth on from one of the spells that he had discarded earlier in one of the earlier phases. As of this point, he has done a wound to me with poison javelins that I failed my armor save, my 1-up armor save with the Skull Crushers, but that's it, nothing from magic. Alright, so in this turn I charged in with my level 4 on the disc and fluffed all my attacks and lost by a fair amount, but I have the Crown of Command on him and I'm within the BSB range, so with the second roll I stick, and I'm now going to be able to hammer in with both of my Skullcrusher units and my BSB as long as I can survive the next round of combat without breaking. And that's exactly what happens. During his turn, he was not able to get me to flee. He couldn't do any wounds because this is my indestructible caster lord with a 1-up armor save and a 3-up ward rerolling 1s. So I was able to get both Skullcrusher units in and the BSB. He did basically throughout the combat. I kill all 30 Temple Guard. My BSB gets into a challenge with the Slann and is actually able to kill the Slann, and I am able to run down 1 unit of Skink cohorts, while the rest of the Skink Skirmishers all pretty much flee off the board. And that was pretty much it with the game. So massive victory to Warriors. So yeah, it was quite bloody. I was able to enslave 9 of the... Well, so he tries to recover his Temple Guard. He was able to recover 17, and of those I enslaved 9, which gave me an extra fame point. So his block of 30 Temple Guard has been reduced down to just 8. The Slann did survive, though. So that's good for him, unfortunate for me. And that was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.